Talking to Dr. Jeff Pierce, you had mentioned Jaden Ivey. We saw him on the bench last night with the Detroit Pistons. A broken fibula in early January. At the time, they said it was about a 4 to 6 month window for a return, and they were not closing the door on him coming back before the regular season conclusion in mid-April. What do we make of Jaden Ivey's recovery, and have you liked what you've seen from him just walking on the bench and things like this?
He's still, because there's that video that surfaced the other day too. He's walking still very gingerly. He's not putting full weight. He doesn't look confident on that leg. But that with his age and what happens in a short period of time, the fibula again is not a big weight-bearing bone. It's a smaller bone from your knee down to your ankle. The tibia is the bigger bone. Like with Aidan Hutchinson, it was both bones that were broken. Much bigger issue. And he looked great after 4 months. You're talking he needs to be ready in about 4 to 6 weeks. Basketball
4 to 6 months.
No, I know, but to be making for playoffs, he's going to be ready in 4 to 6 weeks.
Gotcha.
But can he be a valuable player at that point? I mean, the team's gelling right now. He's obviously a key player for the future. I think it's game to game. I think is he putting the accelerator on for recovery? I don't know. I don't know if he's got that. Like Aidan had the accelerator on for possible Super Bowl. Ivy, now their team's playing well. Maybe he's getting a different mindset. Yeah, I want to be ready for playoffs because you got to push yourself. You got to do everything perfect. In recovery, you can do. I'm doing it. But when I say you put the pedal to the metal, you're doing everything right. You're with that trainer that extra half hour. You're there an extra half hour early. You're using the creams. You're making sure you stay in that ice bath. You're making sure you control all the secondary things. If you're just like, hey, this season's done. I got 4 to 6 months. He's not pushing it. So I think the mental, when it happened, we weren't in playoff bound in the playoffs in January.
Right.
A lot has changed. I mean, the Pistons are like a full turnaround team right now. So hopefully his attitude, that time in the training room and stuff like that, but he's still walking a little ginger. But his age and his recovery, he can look a lot different in 2 weeks if he's committed because he's got that healing. He's out of the boot. He needs to deal with that soft tissue. He needs to start getting that feedback. Because when you're in the boot, you just cut off all that proprioception. You're cutting off all that feedback system. Now he's out of the boot. He's got to get a lot more recovery. So I would say in 2 weeks we could probably make a better prediction for him to whether he's going to make it come back. But he's got to mentally say, yeah, I want to do everything I can to get to the playoffs.
You had mentioned Aidan Hutchinson's name, and I wanted to go back to something that you said a couple of weeks ago when we talked, and I thought it was really profound. And I just want to reiterate that I heard what I heard, and it was, yes, he's going to be back. Yes, he is going to play. But when you come off that injury, are you going to get top 5 in the NFL Aidan Hutchinson play? Or is he going to be capable to be a top 5, if not top 3, NFL defensive end in 2025? Or is he going to be a top 20, top 25 guy? There's a big difference there when you're building a championship team. You certainly expected him to be that top 3, top 5 guy for 2026. But what about this year when you're building a championship team? How much goes into that?
I mean, I think the Lions, another factor to that is that he's got a lot more distraction. He's not the one-off on the team. You got a lot of good players, so the other team needs to focus. If he was double-teamed every time, can he fight through it like he used to? Does he have that quickness? I'm a believer. I mean, I'm going to sit here. I'm a believer. Will he be? When you say top 1 through 3, I'm not giving him that right out of the gate. I want to see what happens those first few games, but I know he's going to be top 10. Yeah. He's going to be top 10 mentally. We talked about Myles Garrett. Obviously, that's gone away. They have another distraction to that defensive front. But he's got other players that the offensive line needs to worry about. So that's going to free him up to do a lot more. If he was on a team that wasn't contending, like I always pick on the Raiders, they can just focus on Aidan and shut him down. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to have some freedom. I think he's going to be able to come back. But as far as his strength and ability, I think this guy ignores a lot, right? He ignores what was yesterday. He lives a lot in the present, and I think that's going to help. I think that recovery is going to be better. That first hit's going to be better. That first I'm going to be okay is going to be better. So I think, I'm confident in the top 10. You go for the top 3. I mean, 2026 for sure, I'm still holding to that. Mm-hmm. But 2025, I'm not betting against him. But I don't think he's going to get MVP, but he's going to be a big force.
I think 10 to 15 is fair considering he's never been top 3. Like, he was on his way, but he hadn't gotten there yet. I was going to ask you about the same guy. It's funny you brought up Aidan Hutchinson. He was at the game yesterday at LCA.
Oh, really?
He didn't move one time. Like, he legit had that foot propped up, and he was chilling the entire time that he was there, letting it rest. So I was like, oh, okay, he's still taking care of the leg. He's not out here just frolicking, signing autographs, and doing the whole 9 yards. He's out, but he's not out. No.
He's being cautious. Maybe cautious. He might have had
Smart.
enough.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. There's no reason to push it.
I was going to just ask you, what do you got going on? What's important to you these days? What are you working on?
I have a guest here. Katie's here from DMC, or the new program, which is more of our disabled sports stuff. I talked a little bit about our sled hockey and Vladdy. She's a very integral part of disabled sports in the state of Michigan, especially in Southeast Michigan. So we're working together on reviving that and bringing people. And like for our viewers, if anybody knows anybody disabled, and what does that mean? That means people with amputees, spinal cord injuries, disabilities, mental disabilities, visual disabilities. We're about that. I've been around this thing for 28 years, and for some reason we're not seeing as many people coming out. So we're here to create more of an awareness program, create programs like we're going to get our tennis program going again. We have a swimming program. Obviously, we have our basketball. We're starting softball. The sled hockey's starting to take off, which we're promoting. But a lot of people with disabilities, we want to be able to come out. Like, for Athletes Unlimited, life isn't expected to be a spectator sport. So it's fun because, we just had a big meeting a week ago, and it's funny because we talked to the parents, right? The worst thing is to have a child that can't participate in sports. Mm-hmm. And with us creating these sports, like we talk about the sled hockey, these kids we're hearing from the parents, which it's very heartwarming that my son is proud of who he is in his sport. He's got that, we all played sports. It's that team. It's that like a purpose, whatever that fancy word is that I can't find right now, but it's emotional and it's what everybody should be able to experience. And all disabled people, we're providing that outlet.
Let me know if I can do anything on the television side of things to bring more awareness to that as well. I'd be more than happy to help.
We're definitely going to call you out on that.
You got it. Absolutely. I'd be
and
more
I know
than happy to help.
Braylon, you guys have been at the events.
I'll get you in. We can do a segment next week if you want. Whatever you need. More than happy to be able to help with that, to help get the word out. Love to have you both in. To Fox 2, and we can do a segment, something on that.
Yeah, that would be great. We'll bring in a couple of our athletes. It's funny because I got surprised. They surprised me with one of our young athletes for the young basketball team, and he was like so humbly proud because he got MVP of the tournament. He had a great 3-point average. He's just mom. And you could see mom behind him like. That's my son. I'm proud of him. It's that cool feeling.
That's awesome.
It's kind of like Braylon's parents when he would catch that winning pass. But it's not funny. You don't have to be a Braylon Edwards at the University of Michigan, the big house, to have that emotional attachment.
Feeling. That feeling, that confidence, that joy, that just doing something that feels very regular to a lot of people. Yeah. That's awesome.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insight with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that I trust. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.